Oh, okay, here we go. All right, welcome everybody to our Vision Action Board workshop. I think we've got a perfect group here just from hearing everybody's presentations. But from here on until we're done here today, try to set aside all your worries and think of this as a mini vacation, mini vacation in your day. And don't forget to stop and smell the flowers and have some fun along the way. Let's see, I think it's not wanting to work. There we go. Oh, give me just a moment because I'm trying to get my, there we go. Okay, so there we go. Most of you know me. I'm Angela Nelson, and I'll be your driver, speaker, host for the next 45 minutes or so. And I'll talk about me more in a little bit, but I want to introduce you to Terry. Terry is going to be our co-pilot and our co-host. I encourage you to schedule a one-to-one meeting with Terry, especially if you need a coach to help you with your vision. Terry's a best-selling author of the book, in case y'all didn't know, Face to Face with God, My Best Friend. It's a great book. I ordered it and I'm enjoying it very much. And she has a second book coming out, I believe, that I've heard is in the works. When she lived in Indianapolis, she served victims of domestic violence in and around her community as the executive director of Beacon of Hope. She's a motivational and dynamic national keynotes, thought-provoking seminars, workshops, and I just highly encourage you to reach out to her for this meeting. If you have any questions, send them through the chat, and if Terry can answer them, she'll be monitoring that, and then we'll open up for Q&A at the end of the presentation. So jot down anything you want to ask me then. And if you've not gotten your workbook PDF, you can go back and watch this recording, and you can send me an email asking for it and I can send it to you. Or you can send it the email and a request to Terry in the chat. And so let's see. I just want y'all to sit back and enjoy the ride. And my hope is that the next hour, each person watching and listening will see this time as a journey. So this theme, it speaks to me because my life has been a journey since the day I was born. I moved over 40 times before getting married and leaving home at 16 years old, and have moved extensively in my adult life as well, and have had lots of changes. So as you set your worries aside and all your plans for just a little bit here, imagine that you're a child again, and just kind of go back to that childhood imagination that you used to have. Napoleon Hill said, cherish your dreams and cherish your visions and your dreams, as they are the children of your soul, the blueprints of your ultimate achievements. My dad was a draftsman and an engineer and an inventor and a writer. And whenever he'd get an idea, he would get so excited. He'd go to his drafting board. He built that drafting board in that picture. He'd have a gleam in his eye, and sticking out the tongue out of the side of his mouth, he'd sketch out his plans. And as a child, I watched and I emulated him from the time I was just a tiny little girl. And that's the kind of mindset that I'd like for everyone to approach making your vision board. Even if you've already created one before, also remember that the next generation is watching you and they're being inspired by what you're doing. And as I said, I'm the driver for this expedition, but many miles later, I've grown up. I live in Melissa, Texas, a little town just north of Dallas. And I live in my stepping stone dream home, I call it. It's a farmhouse with a wraparound porch, like I always dreamed of having. But my whys really are the people sitting around me on this porch. This picture was taken back in July of 2021, just before I had open heart surgery to replace my mitral heart valve, and all my kids came home for it. Sitting behind me is my mom, and my family and I take care of her full time. She's a widow and a proud Army veteran who left Eastern Kentucky as a hillbilly to join the service, and she met my dad, and she began a lifetime of travel and adventure. So that's probably where I get my sense of adventure, from her and my dad. Next to her is a flag, and we included my son in the picture. My oldest son, Sean, I was given that flag at his funeral. He was a disabled Army veteran that served in the Iraq War, and he died in 2012. And in the back on the far left is my oldest daughter, Desiree, from Pensacola. And sitting to the left of me in the picture is her daughter, my oldest granddaughter, Maddie, who's 8. And then across from Desiree on the right is Rose, and in front of her is her husband. And sitting to the right of me is my second granddaughter, her then 2-year-old daughter, who's now almost 4. Her name's Callie. And I didn't know at the time that this picture was taken, but Rose told me the day after my surgery while I was in the hospital, good thing I was on some pain medication, but that she was pregnant with my now 10-month-old third granddaughter. And so, and then the boys, they're on the 2 on either side, on the very far outside, they are both very hard workers. They're both, like, one's a supervisor, one's an assistant manager at their places of work. And then the 2 inside from them on the right, Grady is a C-130 aircraft mechanic. He's a Marine. And on the left is Benjamin, and he is also a Marine. He's an amphibious assault vehicle crew chief. So that's, when I say that's a little about me, that is me, that my children are my everything, and they're why I do everything I do. And also, in case you're wondering, who is Angela to teach us about making digital vision boards? Well, a few years ago, I was taking a speech class in college, and the professor gave us the assignment to make a digital vision board. And I knew what a vision board was, but I didn't know what a digital vision board was. So there were no instructions. So I had to figure out how to make it on Google Drawings. And this is what I came up with at that time. Now, lots changed in my life since that time, and I made this, but that's the beautiful thing about making them digitally, because you can continually change them. But the professor gave me an A+ and asked if she could use my vision board for all the other and future classes as an example of what a digital vision board should look like. So over the years, since then, I've made several different kinds of boards, as you can too. This one was specifically about my business goals. This one I made about my personal life goals, which have also changed since then in some respects. This one I'm in the process of making about my spiritual and ministry goals, and all of these are continually changing and growing. Now, enough about me. This workshop is about you, and I hope that this workshop will be a GPS for turning your dreams and visions into reality. But before I show you how to make a digital vision board, the more important thing is we're going to go over the what, who, why, when, and where about vision boards. So we're going to start with the what is a vision board. So let me see, I kind of got my thing is blocked here. A dream board or vision board is a collage of images, pictures, and affirmations of one's dreams and desires, designed to serve as a source of inspiration and motivation, and to use the law of attraction in attaining goals. The usefulness of vision boards has been endorsed by celebrities such as Oprah Winfrey, Steve Harvey, and John Pierre. So I'm super excited. I have a surprise today. Steve Harvey and Oprah are waiting in the green room right now to speak with all of you, but that's figuratively, of course. And hopefully my internet will hold out so that you all will be able to see this, but I need to move my screen here. Let's see what Steve has to say.
What do you do? You what? Oh, you're gonna be okay. Film student. You're studying it. Yeah, that's one thing. You have to go to class to be a film student. So if that's your dream, you got a vision board. Is it on your vision board? Okay, cool. Put it on your vision board. Work like a dog. No, really, and ask God for some help. That's the way you make it in life. If you don't have vision boards, let me explain something to you. Let me explain something. People do not understand this. If you do not have it written down, your chances of it happening is reduced drastically because it's a principle of success. You have to have everything you want written. It's in the Bible. Now, you ain't got to be the greatest Christian in the world. You still got to get some of these scriptures and apply them. Habakkuk 2:2. It says, write the vision and make it plain, so that he who reads it will run to it. And even though it tarry, that means take a long time, wait for it, for surely it will come at an appointed time. That's in the Bible. Listen to me. That's real. If you don't think it's real, I dare you to try it. Write everything you want on a piece of paper. Everything. I don't care. Use your wildest imagination. If you can think it, you can achieve it. Write it on a piece of paper. Read it every morning and every night. Come back here 1 year from today and see how much of that stuff then came true. That's a promise of your God. That ain't no theory I come up with. That's all successful people have it. Oprah's on TV for 30 years telling people about vision board. It's very real. You have to write it. If it's not written, you reduce your chances greatly of it ever occurring. Everything I've ever gotten in life, I've written. My vision board is crazy. You wouldn't even believe I'm not even in the need business anymore. I'm in the want business. I don't need nothing. Got houses, cars, success, career, family, kids. What's on my vision board now is astronomical. And guess what? I'm gonna get all of it. I'm gonna get all of it. You should try that. You should try it.
I've actually watched that several times, even before doing this workshop. And I love Steve Harvey. I also have this other, Oprah's here to talk to us.
I am a powerful manifester, and I know that, and I know how to do it without physically putting it on a board. I know how. You have to. You want to know how to do it?
Absolutely.
You have to meet the vibration. You can't be above or below it. It's just what I was talking about, negative energy, positive energy. In order to draw the thing to you that you want to come, you can't want it so much that you fear that you won't get it. You have to want it. So in order for me to be on your vision board, you must have put it there and then you let it go.
Yes.
And then you weren't thinking about it every day. Because you can't, it doesn't come to you that way. You have to do it, and then you have to put it, and then you have to meet that vibration. You have to prepare yourself to be there and ready when it shows up. And you were, Jaleesa.
I love that.
Oh.
You gotta let it go. I love the way she said that. Hang on, there we go. All right, let me get back where I was. So Wikipedia also says there's some evidence that vision boards may be counterproductive, since continually fantasizing about success can lead to taking fewer actions to realize it. Thus, an action board is sometimes viewed as a better alternative, which is so true. You need to look at this as like a to-do list. Do we write down everything we want to do for the day and then just let it sit there? Sometimes, but the purpose of it is to do something with it. So no trip would be complete on this journey without hearing some jams. Do you remember the words of Bob Marley in Wake Up and Live? He's saying, life is one big road with lots of signs. So when you're riding through the ruts, don't complicate your mind. Flee from hate, mischief, and jealousy. Don't bury your thoughts. Put your vision to reality. Wake up and live. Stevie Wonder said lacks vision. And Robert Fritz, a screenwriter, and he did a lot more things, wrote, it's not what the vision is, it's what the vision does. So I have several more quotes to share with you. And the reason for that is because Solomon in Proverbs 13:20 said, He that walks with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. And the best way to walk with wise men is to study the lives of great men today and throughout history and read and meditate on those words that they left us. Helen Keller said, the only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. Michael Beckwith said, pain pushes until vision pulls. And Martin Luther King Jr. said, I say to you today, my friends, so even though we have the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. And that seems to be the thing that a lot of us have troubles with, is those problems that come at us. And that vision board is actually to help keep us centered. And what do modern leaders say about vision? Joel Osteen said, take the limits off of yourself. You will never rise higher than your thinking. Create a great vision for your life. And Jack Canfield said, you only have control over 3 things in your life: the thoughts you think, the images you visualize, and the actions that you take. And Steve Jobs said, if you're working on something that you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. What do spiritual leaders say about vision? The Dalai Lama said, in order to carry a positive action, we must develop here a positive vision. And Buddha's teaching said, what you think you become, what you feel you attract, what you imagine you create. But most importantly for me, what does the Bible say about dreams and visions? And Steve Harvey just quoted Habakkuk 2:2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And then Solomon in Proverbs 29:18 said, where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. So now we're up to the who should create a vision board? Everyone, including male and female, married and engaged couples. It's a great way to draw closer to one another, or to get to know one another for newlyweds, singles, and you could include it in your dating profile, or send it to somebody you're just getting to know. Family, young and old, it's a great family night project or a summer break activity. Teachers and students, you can use it as a teaching opportunity for kids. Businesses and networking groups, career counselors, and churches and Bible study groups. So next is the why to create a vision board. Sometimes the turmoil and storms of life can cloud our vision, but a vision board can act like a windshield wiper to help us stay focused on the road that lays ahead of us. To help us understand our why as we make our vision board, I'm going to use the acronym VISION. And I will go into more detail in the slides ahead, but V is for value, I is for insight, S is for security, I is for identify, O is for opportunities. And if I'm going too fast, I can go back over these later. N is for new ideas. So the V for value, it reveals to ourselves the areas in our lives now and in the future that are valuable to us to invest our time into. Who can relate to this meme? Time management, ain't nobody got time for that. I know so many times I need to sit down and make a schedule, or I need to do this, or I need to do that, or make a vision board. And yesterday I stopped and I made my vision board anew for 2023. And I didn't have time for it, but I did it. And then money, the best investment you'll ever make is yourself. That's why in my first vision board, I put pictures of manicures, spa treatments, dance lessons, and vacations. Also, your thoughts. As you work on your vision board, make sure that you're keeping a positive mindset, and the process will accelerate your positive thinking. So from this point on, only positive thoughts beyond this point. And then the I stands for insight. It helps us and or others to understand our personality. George Bernard Shaw said, life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Perception. Your perception defines your reality and your soul defines your perception. Or you could read that backwards, which I was reading this forwards and backwards. Your soul defines your perception and your perception defines your reality. So dig deep in your soul as you're doing this. Let's see. It's not wanting to move for me. There we go. So, and then our purpose. Have you ever asked yourself, why am I here? I don't mean here at this workshop, hopefully, but what is my purpose in this life? Making a vision board hopefully will help you discover and eventually fulfill that purpose. And then another P is for priorities. Nobody's too busy. It's all about your priorities. Everyone here made it a priority to be here. We're all just as busy as anyone else who couldn't be here, but you made a decision to be here. And setting our goals before our eyes helps us to keep our perspective. So years ago, when I was a young mother, I was a printed circuit board. My friends were homemakers, and I wanted so bad just to be home with my young son. Well, I made it a priority and started a daycare in my home to be there with him. But not long after that, every one of those friends joined the workforce because they were all at home just wishing, oh, I just wish I could go back to work. And many years later, after homeschooling my kids and helping my ex-husband run our business for 20-something years, I'm now happily running my own business and a frequently visited empty nest. And my home's pretty much like a landing pad for any of my kids who come and go. And it's all about our perspective. And by making a digital vision board, it can change as your perspective changes. So, and the S stands for spiritual. And as you work on your vision board, pray and meditate, and it can act like an anchor for your soul. The A is for I missed something there. Oh, for accountability. By putting your goals and visions for your life in front of yourself and your friends, so when it begins to grow cold and you just put out all you need to do is just pull out your vision board and you'll get inspired. And I don't know if anybody here's a Game of Thrones fan, but you might catch the meaning of my meme there. So the F, now you can tell here we're spelling something again. I love acronyms. They help me memorize things. Financial. The next time that salesman is trying to convince you that you need a new car, lost it there. The next time that salesman is trying to convince you that you need that new car, you will not be as easily convinced to put your money out for something that was not in your plans or whatever it is. By having that vision board there, it's going to help you stay on track. And then emotional security. There's going to be times when the road gets rough and emotions are going to run high. And you may find yourself between a rock and a hard place, maybe figuratively, maybe literally. And you may be having people tell you to go one direction when you know you should be going the other direction. And that vision board can help keep you on the track towards your goals. And the last in the word safer from security is relationship security. I'm going to share with you a short video clip of a young woman who found relationship security through her vision board. She could relate to this meme. No, I'm not single. I'm in a long distance relationship because my boyfriend lives in the future. I don't know if mine does or not, but I'm happily single, but I love the way she did this. So here we go. Let's see if it will play for us.
Tanya over there, young Tanya, she made a vision board, and on that vision board,
yeah.
you're on it.
I have it right here.
Okay. Oh, yes. Well, why don't you explain to John what that is?
So on New Year's Eve 2016, I made this. This was my vision for love.
Okay.
So my husband is going to be a mixture of you and Ryan Tedder.
Okay. He's going to be a good songwriter then, at least. He might have a nice voice, too.
because I
We
think,
live close to each other too. We're all like in the same neighborhood.
I think like you guys are just the epitome
You
of
just
like,
walk up and down Loma Vista, you'll find him.
You're gonna see your husband there. On
you're
the
like the perfect men, I think. So that's
Oh.
gonna be my husband. He's gonna be a mixture of you and Ryan Tedder.
Okay.
And I met both of you this year, which
Oh,
don't you
wow.
think that's kind of crazy?
Well,
We do.
you do work at iHeart.
Yeah.
The chances are, and we're both releasing singles right now.
No, but I worked for iHeart for. I've
Oh.
never met either one of you
Well,
until
Well,
this year.
we're honored. We're honored to meet you, and we're honored to be on your vision board.
What's
Again,
that?
talk to my wife and then see if you still think
Hey, what's that other
I'm the ideal
couple?
husband.
What's the other? Who are the other people?
That's me and my future husband.
Oh,
Oh, you're on there as well, but
Yeah.
that's not you.
That looks like a cologne ad or
Yeah, it
something.
looks
How come
like
you're a brunette? Well, you guys details. No, don't
It
get so
does look
hung
like
up
a
on the
cologne ad.
details.
And it has purple hearts and stones and things on
Yeah.
it too.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
I'm glad to be part of it.
Thank you.
it's like on the.
We're not making fun of her.
No,
right?
not at all. I'm saying it's
Okay.
like on the verge of creepy, but it's fine.
Okay.
No, it's
Okay.
this is a
I
real
just
thing.
thought that was so
Uh,
cute. All right. Let's see here. It's gonna try to play again. There we go. So I
Tanya,
have just
over
one
there.
more short video clip about vision boards that I found funny, and I hope it'll give you a laugh too. At least put a smile on your face. So here's one more.
Just make a vision board about
The
it.
thing of the DMV where you're like U, Z, Q.
No. Here, I'll show you guys. You take these, scissors, magazine, cut out pictures of anything your heart desires, put it on that board, and it'll come into your life.
Anything.
Anything.
I've always wanted to trade candy. Let's go outside to see if it worked.
Guys,
Well, it looks like it didn't work. Oh! Oh!
Okay, so for the record, it does not work like that. But who doesn't have a sweet tooth? And I thought that was really a sweet video. So we're down to our eye for illustration. So it is a illustration. It is a display for your history before it happens. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. So, I lost something here. Here we go. I literally have a picture that's made up of over 1,000 words. Each mark on the canvas is a Hebrew letter that spells out Psalm 119. But this picture has an even deeper meaning to me because it's hanging. It was hanging in my son's home when he died. And I later learned the story of how he had bought it at a silent auction of a fundraiser, helping wives and children of fallen soldiers. So it's a precious conversation piece in my home. But when you look at my vision board, or if I look at yours, you may not fully understand the deeper meaning behind each picture I chose to add and the placement on the board. Your vision board will be very unique and hold a special meaning for you, and it can be a conversation piece to help others around you know you better. It tells them who you are, what we want, where we're going, when we plan to get there, and how we plan to get there. Then it's going to help you organize your thoughts. Do we have any Monica from Friends in the house? If you love organizing, you'll love this project, sorry. And if you hate organizing, it will help you get organized. If you need help finding the Monica you may need to find the Monica in your life to help you. So, and maybe Terry can help with that. So, oops, I went too far ahead. And then W is for weaving the tapestry of your vision board. So have you ever looked at the back of a tapestry or worn a shirt inside out? You'll notice that the stitching on the back side can look like a terrible mess. And if that's all you could ever see, you would not understand what a beautiful picture it truly is meant to be. That is what our lives are like. And it will not be until we're in heaven before we can look back and see how all those knots and those loose strings in our life had a purpose. So be flexible to understand that as you work and you rework your vision board, that at the end, the result will be a masterpiece. And there, how. Yeah, so that's illustration, and then opportunities. So it also helps us to recognize opportunities. Small opportunities are often the beginning of great achievements. And because of my vision board, when an opportunity comes along, I can see if it works into my plans or if it can help me reach my goals. And finally, new ideas. Through the process, new ideas may just come at you. So let your creative juices flow. You never know. You may come up with something you never thought you were going to try to do. Now, when to create a vision board? The answer is some more candy here, now and later. So now is the time, don't wait. The real definition of tomorrow is it's a mystical land where 99% of all human products relate to that. And this has been my mantra throughout my life. After all, tomorrow is another day. Keep pushing things off, keep pushing things off. But my daddy always told me the quote, remember that today is the first day of the rest of your life. And I have often woke up in the morning remembering what my dad taught me. And then, so now, but also later, be willing to make adjustments with life's ebbs and flows, such as, and remember, the only thing constant in life is change. But education, kids leave home and go to college or join the military. You may decide to go back to school or change your major. Marriage and divorce. And I should have added death of a spouse because I've been widowed, remarried, and divorced, and I didn't expect any of those things to ever happen to me. Children, nothing can cause adjustments in our lives like having children and grandchildren as well. Watching them fly the coop and sometimes having them come back. My dad once said about me and my sister, I keep giving them away and they keep coming back. So, he was always there for us though. And then moves. I've done plenty of this throughout my life, but my mom always said that she didn't do spring cleaning, she just moved. There's nothing that will clean your stuff out like moving. And then career changes or retirement. And then successes or losses. And as much as we like to think that we're in control, we're not in complete control of successes and losses. And they're both going to happen and not always how or when we expect them to. And the last thing before we get into the how is where to put a vision board. First, a quote by Michelangelo, who said, the greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it's too low and we reach it. So the possibilities of where to put your vision board are endless. You can even put it on a dartboard and throw a dart each day and focus on wherever it lands and focus that way. Or you can be very methodical in the way that you go about trying to achieve your goals. And you can, where are you going to put it? You can put it on your computer screensaver. As you can see, I added mine as my Zoom background. You can use it for your social media profile pics or banners. You can put it on a bulletin board by your desk. You can make a binder, and I do recommend that you have a binder or something or file folder that you keep all of your past and present vision board printouts in. So you can go back and look at them and see how you've changed and see what you've accomplished. Put it on the refrigerator. There's accountability there. Your family will see it every day. You'll see it every day. Frame it. Use a digital picture frame to display them, or put a laminated printout on your bathroom vanity or your vanity mirror. And now finally, what everybody's been waiting for, how to make a vision board. Well, really, everything that I went over really is how you create a vision board, but doing it on the computer, and a lot of people are just, not tech savvy, and that's totally understandable. So I'm going to approach this as if everyone I'm talking to doesn't know much at all about computers. But the main thing is to have fun doing it. That's the number one thing. Just make it fun. And you can also make it like a party and invite a bunch of friends over with their laptops and do it for like maybe a women's group thing or a guys group thing. All right, so getting down to the how to use. So if you have a Gmail account, if you don't have a Gmail account, you can easily set one up. But you open your Gmail and there's going to be 9 dots up in the upper right hand corner. And you're going to click on those dots and click on the Google Drive icon. And it's going to look like the one up in the upper left-hand corner of this screen. And you're going to click on the new button in the upper left-hand corner beneath the Google Drive icon to pull up a drop-down menu. Now you may have to click on, when you pull up the drop-down menu, it'll say more. And it'll bring up another little menu and you click on Google Drawings. Let's see, I already have that one. And you can also create a file folder to put it in. So you're going to click on, when it brings up your new Google drawing that you're going to be working on, you're going to click on where it says Untitled Drawing, and you're going to name it something like 2023 Vision Board for Facebook, or 2023 Vision Board, or however you want to name it. Just don't put any slashes in it. Dashes are fine, but don't put slashes in it, because when you save it, it doesn't save as well. So and then you're going to click on File in the menu bar and choose Page Setup from the drop-down menu. And then step 6 is you're going to click on the down arrow next to, you're going to have this little thing that's going to pop up in the middle of the screen, and it's going to say Page Setup, and it's a standard 4:3. But first thing to do is to click on the little arrow on the right, and there's going to be a drop-down menu, and you're going to click on Custom, and it's going to pull up this little pop-up menu. And this is where you can set the size. Now, I know I'll tell you how I got to this size in a minute, but to change the size, you're going to change where it says inches. You're going to change it to say pixels. You're going to click on the little arrow next to inches, and it'll pull up inches or pixels, and you're going to pick pixels. Do that first, and then go over and put 1640 by 1924 in those little number boxes. The reason I say to do that first is because if you put 1640 and then 1924 and you change it to pixels, it's going to change those numbers. So you need to change it to pixels first and then put 1640 by 1924. And then you're going to click on the arrow next to inches. Let's see, to pull up the drop down menu to choose pixels. Okay, I already said that. Then you're going to click on Apply down in the corner of that little box. So a side note, to determine the size of the page, to create what you're going to do is you're going to create a free account in Canva and type the platform you're looking for. So you could type in Facebook cover, Twitter cover, whatever you want to type in that search bar there. I believe I did Facebook cover. That's what we're working on right now. And it's going to pop up a bunch of templates, and you just pick one. And after it's going to pop up like this. And if you look under the title of the template, it says Facebook cover 1640 by 924 px. That's how I figured out how big to make it. So you can, if you're going to do Twitter, or you're going to do LinkedIn, or whatever you're going to do, just find a template there and just use that size. Now, like I said, you can make a vision board in Canva, but this is just how I did it. So now your board's ready. So you see the difference in the size. It's longer and narrower now. And you're going to place your cursor in the middle of your board, and you're going to right click on it. And there'll be a little pop-up menu that comes up, and you're going to pick on background from that pop-up menu. And that's how you're going to choose the background color. So you can either choose a solid color under the solid tab at the top of the color chart, or you can choose gradient tab, which makes it look kind of like this. And there's various types of gradient colors to choose from as well, like the way the gradient works. Like this one is more dark around the outsides. And this is how you can also make that white in the center bigger or smaller by sliding that bar, this bar here, across back and forth. And you can also change the color right here, if you can see my cursor. So that's how you can change the background color. And then once you have an idea of something to put on your board, you're going to go to Google and type in the search bar. And after you type in whatever it is you're looking for, say for me, real estate. I'm studying for my real estate license. So I typed in real estate. I recommend that you type in free real estate images. And then when it pops up, and then also you'll notice that across the top, let's see here, it says all, and under where it says, I did this public speaking. It says all images, books. If it's on all, you'll need to click images to be able to see all the images that are available. And you just scroll through there until something hits you and inspires you. And then when you find, once you've clicked on your, keep skipping too many pages. Okay, so you find your picture, you pick on it, and once you've clicked on your chosen image, it should pop up on the side. At least that's how my browser does. And you're going to hover your cursor anywhere in the middle of that image, and you're going to right click and choose copy. You can also hit Control-C. That's a quick, simple way to do it, and it will copy that picture. Then you return back to the tab that has your vision board, and you're going to hold your hold and right click anywhere on the screen and choose paste. Or you can simply use the shortcut Control-V. It's going to appear somewhere on the board. And once it's on that board, you can move your image around by clicking on it and holding it to drag it where you want it. And you can resize it by clicking and holding and dragging on one of the four corners, not the sides. If you do the sides, like you're going to turn Laurel into Hardy, or Hardy into Laurel, if y'all know what I'm talking about. It makes the picture look skinnier or flatter. So, and then you can organize your images as you move them around on your board. You can do them hodgepodge, or you can do them according to categories or areas of your life. And then you can organize them in a circular pattern. Now, I don't like doing it this way, but you can have them radiate out from the center. I don't think they look as good that way. You can't get nearly as much on it if you do it that way. And then you can also create individual action boards with steps laid out by year and month. And so you're going to put what you're going to do in 2023, what you're going to do in 2024, like that. You can organize it in a circular pattern, radiating out from the center. Let's see. Okay, so these are different. I think this one is, can't think of the name of, Ula, maybe. And then, but there's different things that people follow. That you can pattern them after whatever your, whatever, how would I say that? Anyways, you can pattern them any way you want to. So another way that you can do is you can click on insert up where the first arrow is pointing. And then you click on image in the drop-down menu. And then you're going to click on search the web that pops up on the side in the drop-down menu. And then you're going to type your interest in the search bar at the top of the right search bar area. So here I used the example of real estate. And you just scroll through the images and then you click on the one that you like, and then it's going to put a check mark on it, and you're going to click insert at the bottom right corner. I will tell you, if you do more than one, it'll say, you know, 2 selected down at the bottom. But you don't want to do that because I have not figured out how to separate them. So wherever you move one, the other one's going to move with you. So it's better to do them one at a time. So let's see here. And after the image shows up on the board, you can resize it, as I showed you earlier, and click and drag it anywhere and even overlap your images. And then after the images showed up, see, I overlapped them. There is also, I'm going to show you, I'm going to escape here in a second from my slide presentation and show you, I have a few more minutes here, but I was going to show you how to change which one is on top and which one is on the bottom, because as you're putting things on there, sometimes you need to overlap, but you want one to show on top of the other one. But anyways, this is a vision board that I did yesterday. It took me about an hour and a half to complete it. And like I was saying earlier, you don't know. If you just look at this, you may think you know what I want to do, but you may not totally understand. Like, you may see that house down at the bottom and think, man, she wants to have lots of money, and man, what's she going to do with that big house? But my actual dream is to someday be able to afford to start like a retreat center for women. And I have different ideas for that. So I put both different retreat center ideas on there. But I do the damsel in defense here. This up here is the Shuffle by Ellify compensation plan. So it's kind of encouraging me to get further on that. I want to have a #1 bestseller on Amazon, New York Times, USA Today, all of them. I want to be able to travel and do book signings and take my children with me and help them see the world the way my parents took me all across the US and showed me the world within the US. I want to do that with my grandkids all across the world. So this is one though that I took some of the stuff off and I added different stuff on there. And this is the stuff that I want to do for sure this year. I want to become a Stronger Than Espresso group facilitator. I want to start a women's Bible study. And then these are places I want to go and visit. I want to go to an escape room. I've never done an escape room. I want to go to this place called Go Ape, where you go on these things through the trees and zip lining and all of that. So, yeah, and I'm actually doing a public speaking event at this very moment. So I can add this to my done list. And I want to say, I'm going to show y'all a few other things if you want to learn a couple other things, but a final thought from Zig Ziglar. He said, failure is a detour, not a dead end street. And this is the end of the workshop, but it's just the beginning of something new for each of us. And I was going to say, if anybody here wants a little help with getting your vision board started and you just need me to step you through, I don't mind setting up like a 30-minute time to do that. And I'm going to actually end right here, and then I can see if anybody has any questions before I do anything else.
Excellent presentation, Angela. This is recorded, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I need your permission because I want to share this with a couple of other groups and invite you to be the speaker.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. I'll be happy to. And if anybody sees the recording and wants me to do this, I am not charging for this. And what I would like from each of you is some feedback. Just send me an email, tell me suggestions that you have. I'm going to post the recording on the event page on Facebook, and maybe if I can get it on LinkedIn too. And if you have suggestions on things that I can do differently, that I can add to it, or what I should charge if I were to offer this as a business. So,
Angela,
anybody have any? Yes.
Sorry, I know, I was getting some comments in the chat about people did not receive their workbook. So
Oh.
could you please make sure everyone on this call gets that workbook to them, please?
Absolutely. Yes.
I have mine. so
I
don't-
know I sent one to, I think April, did you get yours? And Ebony, anybody who sent me an email and asked for one, or not an email or a message, I tried to send it to them.
Yeah.
So, but yes, and then once I started, it was kind of hard to stop and do that. So I apologize, but any other questions pop up in the,
No.
so did anybody get any? So if it's okay with y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording right now. And thank y'all so much for experiencing this with me. I really appreciate it.
Good job.
Bye.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very good job.
Angela put a lot of work into this.
Yes, thank you very much.
That was great.
Thank you.
It was very good.